Hey everybody, thank you for joining me this morning on Regan Says So. Let's get into it. I always act like every weekend is like really, really good. And if you probably watch me like, does she ever have any problems? I do, but my weekend again was really good. But I've been really intentional on making sure that I have a good weekend or a good life, period, but a good weekend definitely because it's kind of my downtime. Even though I have another job, it's still kind of my downtime. So I really didn't do too much. I did work. I had my chat and chew girls brunch, which you guys should have come. If you didn't come, like, boo to you. But I do know, and I understood kind of later that everybody doesn't have the ones who do go to church, everyone doesn't have the same church time as me. Like, I go at 9:30 and I'm out by like 15:30. So I'm out and I can go to brunch with like no problem. But some people's church, they have later church and it starts at 12 or 12:30 and they don't get out until later. And brunch is normally over like at 2:30 or 3. So I did get some feedback in my inbox about maybe moving the next time I do have brunch, because this was kind of like a spur of the moment thing. It wasn't like really an event type thing. It's just getting together, which I love to do. And especially if we're going to eat, that's number one. But then just kind of getting together and sitting and talking about whatever. And that's basically what we did. There was nothing like no scheduled anything. I have eaten at Lakeside Tavern before. I love the ambiance of the place, but that's me. That's why I go out to different places, is to experience, the scenery or whatever is going on. So I've always loved how it looked, and I heard the brunch was really good. So, excuse me. I heard the brunch was really good. So I said, let me just go and try it. After I kind of asked a random question about it, everybody was like, oh, yeah, you should go. Then somebody was like, yeah, you need to do a brunch. So, it doesn't take much for me. If you say event, that's my thing. So I'm like, yeah, okay, cool. Let's just get something together. So that's what we did. So we had the brunch on Sunday. I worked. My second job, got my hair done. Oh my gosh, listen. Shout out to Sister Atia for turning me on to her hairdresser. Her name is Shonda. She works at Paper Dolls on Magnolia. Oh, my nose, everything's itching. She was very quick and efficient. Like, I love my hair. Okay, love it. And affordable. So those three things, like, you got me. And she's from Chicago. So, and I've always said every time, like, I go and visit my husband's family up that way, all the women's hair look good. Like, when I heard she was from Chicago, before I even saw the pictures, before I even knew Tia got her hair done from them, like, I knew, like, every time I go that way, all the women hair, their hair looks great. So I was like, then I saw Tia's hair and I was like, oh yeah, go on and sign me up. So I made my hair appointment, got it done. She did an excellent job. And like I said, she didn't take long and it was very affordable. And she's just down the street. Well, not down the street, but she's close to my house. So that was perfect. Hair done, event, worked. That was my weekend. Okay, so let me go ahead and get into my topic. Two things. I was going to make them two different videos, but they're both short topics. So I'm going to put them in there together, which one doesn't really have anything to do with the other, but we'll talk about it. So anyway, today's topic of Regan Says is, I wrote it down, learning how to take correction. So I had a situation, and it wasn't really a situation. When I'm on Facebook a lot, or I'm on social media a lot, but I have to talk a little bit more sometimes in Facebook, or type a little bit more than I would, do on Instagram, because Instagram is mostly pictures. And when I'm typing, I'm not necessarily paying attention to what I'm saying. Well, I am, but I'm not. So I may have a lot of grammatical errors, misspellings, what have you, even though your phone typically picks up some things. It's always been that way. Like, when I wrote my book, like, my mom, which it was my editor, or is my editor, she tore my book up, because I've always, even as a kid, like, you write how you talk. And yeah. Anyway, and associate of mine, let me back the story up. So, I almost 2 or 3 times a week It never fails. Somebody, because they see that I'm in business, may think I have certain connections. So what they do is they friend me on Facebook, which I pretty much accept everybody, kind of, sort of. I kind of skim through and make sure no drama, make sure it's a real profile, business, whatever. So most of the time I accept people. So every week I probably will add a new friend, at least one. Okay. And what happens is people look and see she has a business, then they may go on my business page and see what type of following I have or what have you. And so they may think that I have these connections that I don't have, or I may have a few, but what they try to do is they add me to their business group, or they want me to join their business. Now I got it. I understand, but some things, and I've learned this over the years, just being like in MLMs, and I'm not coming down on MLMs at all. I've been a part of MLMs, and they just don't work for me. They don't work for me only because I'm that person who likes to cut the middleman out. Like, give me the plug. Don't put me through the middle person. I want to have what the middle person is making. Like with the travel agent, I figured out a way to do that without having to go through a third party and pay them monthly. So they're getting rich off of my monthly. Yeah, there's a downline and all that good stuff, but they're making money off of me, and they give me a small percentage. Don't give me the small percentage. I want the large percentage. So just because of how I'm made up, MLMs don't work for me. I cut the middleman. I want the plug. Okay. So, but nonetheless, I have people who friend me. They put me in their groups, and they want me to join or be a part of their MLM or their group or whatever. And I've made this post several times, but what I did was I posted again and I said, look, thank you for your invitation. Please do not add me to any of your groups. I'm not interested at this time, but what I will do is kind of skim over whatever you have going on and see if it's a good fit, because I am about partnerships. You do better when you have more than one person or one company. Two is always better than one. That's in the word. And so I'm really good about doing partnerships, but I need to make sure that our values are aligned. I need to make sure that, the vision is aligned and it goes with my business, because oftentimes I would kind of get not bullied, but feel pressured to be a part of something that I didn't want to be a part of it. And I had to learn this year to say no. It didn't really feel good, but it's like, what didn't feel good was getting into this thing and not in it with my whole heart. And I don't, how my time is set up, like I don't have time to waste time on anything that's not productive and pertaining to anything that I have going on in my business or my household or my belief system or my vision. So I have to learn to say no. But anyway, I wrote this whole long drawn out statement about please don't add me to the group, yada, 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 yippee, dippy, skippy. Well, I have an associate. He inboxed me or text me and did a screenshot of my post. And he said, read this carefully. And so then he went back under that, and then he underlined all my mistakes and told me what I needed to change. Now, typically somebody would get upset about that, but not me, because I know how I am. I know I write like I talk. I know I, a lot of the time, do not pay attention to a lot of the stuff that I'm writing, especially when I wrote that particular post. I was already upset because this one particular person, I'm not going to say any names, but this one particular person friended me maybe last week and just being like a bully and like trying to force me to get in this group. And I would keep clicking out of the group to say, don't add me. And they would go back and add me again. And here's the thing that irks me. I don't mind, building business relationships. I got it. But please, if you're dealing with me, please introduce yourself. At least say hi. Hi, I'm such and such. But don't automatically shove your business down my throat. I don't do that. I don't do that. I think it's rude, but that's just me. Maybe, get to know me. And I guess for me as a person, and I know I got a lot of hangups and quirks and things of that nature, but I just think it's common courtesy. Hi, I'm, Yolanda, And I saw your profile and, yippee dippy skippy. Like I have two young ladies who help me now. One of them, we're getting ready to work really, really closely on just really my brand and, getting things together along with my mentor whenever I see him again. Hi, if you're watching. Haven't forgotten about you. But anyway, I'm getting ready to start working really closely. But the two ladies that are helping me now, they didn't bully me. What they did, which I greatly appreciate, a lot of my events are like for my business to grow. So when I have the ladies dinner and a movie, those are for you to come and hang out. And those are for you to come and meet me and see me as a person, see how I am, so we can build trust. We can build a rapport. So when you do go to spend money with me, you're not like, I don't know about her. I'm not spending any money with her. That there's a level of trust, there's a level of commitment that we have built that says I'm safe. And those are the type of people I want to work with. Those ladies who came to my events, they have come and they have supported me. And they have built a relationship or trying to build a relationship with me. So when they come to me and say, hey, I can help you. And I can say, okay, let's see what you got to say. Not jumping in my inbox and say, I am the solution to your problem. I can help you you don't even know me. You don't even know what my problem is. You don't know what I need. Right. And so I'm about relationship. I want to build a relationship, and I am not one to warm up quick to people. I'm the one that's watching you in the background and seeing how you move. Right. If you're dealing with me personally in my space and I don't have that many people, just know we have some type of relationship where I have to trust you somewhere. There's a level of trust. There's a level of trust, basically. And but going back to what I was saying with my friend, but he does that. He's always done that. One thing he used to do, he used to put it on Front Street on Facebook, and that would piss me off. But now he's a lot better and say, hey, whatever he's corrected me a whole lot of times, but I don't mind. I don't mind that coming from him because I know he's very articulate. I know he's smart. I know he doesn't mean any harm, even though he comes across very crass sometimes, but I know he doesn't mean any harm. And the thing about it is, especially when you correct me in private, I know where your heart is. I know that you're not trying to be malicious toward me. I know that you have my best interest at heart. And so when he sent it to me, I'm not going to find any, like, oh my gosh, here he goes again. He's correcting me again. No, because what he could have done is, like everybody else reading, and be like, oh my gosh, Regan sounds crazy again. Instead, he said, hey, look at this, read this carefully, correct it. Okay, thank you. I call him Red Pen Patrick. He doesn't know that, but if you're watching, that's your name. Because I have another friend of mine, Cindy, Red Pen Patty is what I call her. But I appreciate them, and I respect both of them, and I respect their thoughts. Both of them, he has his own business, and, even that, like I said, he's very articulate. So when he goes to correct me, I'm like, thank you. I know where his heart is because he didn't do it publicly. And then, like I said, what I was getting ready to say before, the other people who may have seen it are like, oh my gosh, Regan is sounding crazy again. Look at these misspelled words. Look at these, conjugations, and look at all this other stuff, and not say anything. So for any other business that could potentially see me, because I am connected to quite a bit of people on Facebook that I don't technically know, but could have the power to elevate me to another level, right? So if they see that and they're like, oh my gosh, I know what she's trying to say, but she sounds crazy. Now, what if he didn't catch it and say, look, you need to tighten up. You need to fix this. What if I was that person who was like, here he goes. I'm going to leave it. I'm grown. And we have people like that. I'm not even talking about in business. I'm talking about in life. For me, which I've said this before, I want to be that person who's growing every day in something. I want to learn something every day. Something about something that I didn't know about yesterday. And, people just don't like that correction part. If, like my friend Cindy is probably one of the harshest critics ever. The other little fella, my friend that I was talking about, he's very harsh. But those are the people that I want in my life. I know that sounds crazy, but those are the people that I want in my life to help with the correction part. to help me get to another level, because I'm learning. Even though it's something I may not want to hear, I'm learning. And those are the people that I want in my life. When my mom tells me something, and it's been like that for years, I may cut her off. Not cut her off like physically cut her off. I'm going to let her say what she has to say. I'm going to sit with what she had to say, and then I'm going to go deal with it and say, you know what, Mama, you were right. You were right. Because you know who's trying to help you and who's trying to hurt you. And I know in my small circle, like I was talking to a friend of mine the other day and telling her some things, and she said, you need to get yourself together. I want those people in my circle to say, you need to get yourself together. You slipping, sis. You slipping. Because some people look at me and be like, Regan got her stuff together. No, ma'am, no, sir. Nope. If y'all only knew. Like if you only knew. But I have that circle that I can say, hey, give me your opinion on this. What do you think about that? And I don't ask everybody that. I don't ask everybody questions, even down to like the small things. Like I know my friends are like, if you ask me one more thing about this hotel, the hotels in Atlanta are giving me a fit, and I don't know why. And I don't know why I'm so pressured to find like this perfect hotel in my mind, because I'm going to have to switch hotels. The one that I picked essentially, we're not going to be able to use because of the meeting space. Not only the meeting space, but the customer service is terrible. And if it's starting off this bad now, I don't want to deal with you next year. Like, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. So I have found another hotel. I have one question just to kind of do an overview with them. Hopefully I get to talk to them Monday. Sign the paperwork because they've been very efficient. Am I really happy about the hotel? I don't know. We're going to see. It's very nice, centrally located. We're going to see. But anyhow, I'm going to move forward because I know my level of perfection is getting in the way, and there's no such thing. And what I consider perfect, somebody else may be like, this is like, woo, because I know my expectations, especially with hotels. I don't play about where I lay my head. I don't play about a lot of stuff, but I definitely don't play about where I lay my head. If I'm spending my money on you, through you, my time with you, it's important. And I want it to be respected and have value. But anyway, this week I should have the information about Atlanta. But going back to what I was saying, be the type of person who's going to know how to take correction. Don't be that person to say, I'm grown. I'm grown. Because if nobody can tell you anything, you will never grow. And then also, that's like a double-sided coin, only because you have to watch who you let speak in your life, which I've spoken about this before. Like I said, I'm very particular about who I ask questions from, who I take advice from, who I receive certain stuff from, because I need to know where their heart is. You know, are they for me? Are they trying to hurt me? Do they care about me? Do they care about, my family, my legacy, what I'm trying to do? And, with Cindy, listen, she said some things to me and I'm just like, but she was right. She was right. I had somebody, I was about to say, my mentor, when I met with him, he said some things and I was just like, that kind of stung, but I needed to hear it. Needed to hear it. Red Pen Patrick, I always said things that sting. Like, it's almost like he cut you and then pours alcohol and vinegar and salt, and it just burns until the skin just seeps out. Seriously. Anyway, but it helps. It helps me. It helps me grow. Because I'm like that in a way. So I can't have soft people around me. Like, I can't, because I'm not soft. I'm soft, but I'm not soft. Like, if I need you to do something, I need you to do something. And I'm not going to stop until it gets done. If you're working with me with business, you can't come to me with, because I'm not, I'm like, this needs to be done. I'm going to try. No, we're not going to try. We're going to do. There's no such thing as try. Right? So I can't be surrounded by people who, yes, people. I need somebody to be like, straighten it up, sis. You got this word spelled incorrectly. This sentence makes no sense. Get it together. Okay. So long story short, don't be afraid to take correction. If you're not one to take correction from people who are trying to get you to the next level, that's another thing. Not just anybody giving you some random advice, because you can have some random people giving you stuff and be trying to hate. And that goes into my next topic. Second one. This was not supposed to be this long. I'm sorry. But somebody said, that's the topic of the second part of Regan Says That Somebody Said. I had, got to be careful how I tell this story because it happened this week. I hear a lot, in a lot of different instances where people be, somebody will have a question about something and they go and ask their friend or go and ask somebody and say, hey, X, Y, and Z, X, Y, and Z. And the somebody says, well, you know, I heard X, Y, and Z and X, Y, and Z will happen. So I don't think you need to do that. I don't think you need to do that. I hear it all the time. Listen, maybe like 5 times a week, I hear somebody said, somebody told me that I shouldn't X, Y, and Z because they said. Listen, this one particular situation, I want to tell it. I want to tell it, but I can't. Had the lady like messed up. And for years, she was listening to the somebody said X, Y, and Z. And come to find out that very thing that the somebody told the lady was wrong and kept her from getting help. And I'm talking about help she like needed, not like this was like life or death help. All because of what the somebody said, when all the lady needed to do was go to the source. That'll preach. Oh, that will preach. Go to the source. Quit that. High five, Holy Spirit. That will preach. I done got excited. Stop going to other people about certain stuff. Listen, and our old pastor taught us this. Even when he's preaching, and he may give us scriptures or whatever, he said, don't take what I say. Go get it from the source. Go to the Bible and look it up for yourself. That's the same thing for life. I'm a researcher by nature. I just am on specific things that I like. It may not be everything, but if it's something that I like and I need to know about, I'm going to research it to pieces. And nobody, when I say nobody, if it's something that is near and dear to my heart or is something that I need to know about, nobody can come to me and say, Regan, X, Y, and Z. And I'm going to say, oh, okay. And I'm going to turn around and research it to pieces till I make sure that I find out this is exactly what it is. So be careful of the somebody said, because you'll be going to hear somebody and whatever they said and be toe up, missing out on the opportunity and never even think. And some people are malicious. With this particular situation, I don't think the somebody was being malicious, but some people can be malicious because they'll ask somebody will ask them a question and it be something about going to another level or something that's going to help them or something that's going to elevate them. And we all have heard it before. Some people don't want to see you go as far as they are going. So they just going to tell you something just to keep you from really going to find out what that is. Right. So we just have to grow. We got to come up. We got to grow. And that's all I wanted to talk about today. I hope this wasn't too long because I was really trying not to make it that long. But anyway, thank you for joining Regan Says today. I hope, excuse me, I don't know if I'm coming on anymore this week. I may, because sometimes I get into those Facebook Live and be like, oh, I got something to say. So I don't know. But if I don't, you guys, please make sure that you have a peaceful and productive week and night, especially when you go to sleep at night. With file, I was supposed to do my file tips. I might do that tomorrow because I do have a lot of file tips that have really helped me out this past week. Have helped me out because my schedule is extremely busy during the week when I'm dealing with my daughter. It is extremely busy. So I definitely wanted to give some tips to the mothers or fathers if you're taking care of, children or whatever, trying to make sure that you have a home cooked meal during the week, because guess what? I didn't eat out one time last week for dinner. But I didn't eat out for dinner. not one time last week. So I wanted to show you what I did, and it was awesome. So I'm going to continue doing that, and that's what I try to do when it gets colder outside and the time changes, because we have late days during the week. So just going to give those tips, and I'll probably do that tomorrow. So I think that's it. You guys have a blessed rest of the week. Have a prosperous, productive, and peaceful in your mind, your heart, and your spirit. You guys have an awesome rest of the day and the week. I'll talk to you later. Bye.